Good morning. Welcome to Hiram's Hikes. I'm Hiram. I'm in Neel's Gap. It's Monday morning. I'm just coming off my first THRU. I am standing under the tree of shoes, which I took a video of on Saturday when I came down through here. I spent yesterday at your home in the woods bed and breakfast. Absolutely wonderful experience. Run by a wonderful couple, so friendly, really made you feel like you were at home. They treated me like family. So now here I am. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm back at Neel's Gap. Hopefully I've learned a little bit about, and I can do better on my videos from all of the work that I did on yesterday. So it's on a pretty major road. Some of the cars seem to enjoy hauling up through here at a pretty good pace. Maybe the fog's slowing them a little bit this morning, which is probably a good thing. You can see the, hopefully you can see the sign where the crosswalk is right there. That's where the AT comes down the hill, comes across the road, comes right through here, and as I did in the earlier video, goes right out through the building. For through hikers, keeping in mind I'm probably slower than all of you, this is like an hour out of Neel's Gap for me. So I don't know, 20 minutes for you maybe, I don't know. There's quite a bit of nice camping area level spots here, and there's a fire ring over there, or a fire pit, whatever you want to call it. Came that way. I'm headed this way. Still hiking in a cloud, but it's nice, it's warm. It's a nice day. I don't know, probably high 30s, maybe 40. Nice day. Just a light spatter of rain. Heading north. So I finished my climb out of Neel's Gap. I think I'm actually at my highest point of the day. I'm at like, I don't know, 3,900 feet. I do have a couple more climbs, but I think the longest climb of the day is behind me, which is kind of cool to get done by before 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't get faster as the day goes on. As you can see, I'm still hiking in a cloud. As far as I'm concerned, it's a beautiful day. It's been comfortable. I'm sweating. I do need to take another layer off. I'll probably put my scarf away. But it's been nice. Haven't seen anyone else on the trail yet today. So, the first descent, still in the clouds. The first descent after Neel's Gap. No, get my face in here. No joke. Very, very steep. Wet leaves, mud, wet rocks, and wet roots. So I started out slow until my first slip, and then I go slower. I got the surprise event. At one point, one of my trekking poles went like a foot into the ground. I hit a chipmunk hole or something. Fortunately, my other 3 points of contact kept me upright. But I'm apparently no faster going downhill than I am going uphill. Going uphill, I'm limited by mass versus gravity. And coming downhill, I'm limited by my number one priority, which is don't get hurt. So I'm trying to go pretty cautious, and I have to, or I'd be tumbling. Heading north. I'm atop my second peak of the day. Sun has almost come out a couple of times. You can see it hasn't. The clouds have gone up a little bit though, so you don't really have that feeling of being in a rain cloud quite so much. It's a little bit drier. I've had to shift and shuffle. You can see, maybe you can see my shell is now on the top of my backpack. Sweat management is more, I mean, there's no being cold. I'm not managing that at all. I just try to manage not sweating too much. Nice day for hiking. Have not seen anyone on the trail yet today. Third peak of the day. It's 1 o'clock, a little after 1, 10 past 1. Started to rain for a little while, and then that stopped. Now the clouds are back just real heavy with a real heavy mist. Getting wet again. But I'm going to get wet no matter what, because if it doesn't come from the rain, it's going to come from me sweating. So, heading north. Nothing scary about that. I think I'll try not to touch it while I'm going by. It's big. I don't know if it shows up. Tassanati Gap. Got a ways left to go. This is Hog Pen Gap, 0.9. Supposedly a pretty good climb here. Coming out of Tenacity Gap. Headed north. I'm at Hog Pen Gap. They put the Tenacity Gap 0.9 back. The climb out of Tenacity Gap was the steepest I've had yet on the AT. A couple places I had to stow my trekking pole so I could use my hands and feet climbing up the rocks. Most of the gaps, they put the signs up a little bit away from the road, probably cuts the vandalism down. Time for my day 8 wrap up. I got dropped off about 8:10, something like that, by Paul after leaving your home in the woods. I want to do another video and talk about that. That was just an absolutely wonderful stay. They were great people. So I am at mile 41.5. Got my first 10-mile day, 10.2 miles. I didn't do it with speed. I hiked until 6. It was getting dark, so I set up. I would have taken a stealth site sooner if I could have found one, but this is what I got. I'm a little over a mile from the next shelter, low gap shelter at 42.8, but I just didn't have it in me. It was getting dark, and while there certainly wasn't any ice, I didn't want to be hiking at dark if I didn't really have to. The comments, wrap-up comments on the day yesterday, there's 3 peaks kind of behind Neel's Gap, or after you go by north of Neel's Gap. You know, there are ups and downs, and so be it. But coming down off Cow Rock Mountain, which is the 3rd one, into Tesnati Gap, I'll probably get that wrong, Tesnati Gap, that was a real bear. There was a really, really steep section on the top. I didn't actually butt scoop my way down any of it, but I certainly thought about it. And it was wet all day yesterday. Sometimes it was raining, sometimes you were just in a cloud. The sun almost came out a couple of times around noon, but never did. So everything was wet all day. So it was mud, wet leaves, wet rocks, and the occasional wet root. Some of the rocks were pretty good grip, even though they were wet, and some of them were pretty slippery. I took a couple of slides. No falls, so good. The other thing worth mentioning on that was the climb out of Tesnati Gap up Wildcat Mountain is a bear. I had to stow my trekking poles a couple of times to go hands and feet to work my way up the rocks. So that was the steepest climb I think I've had, most challenging, more so than like Blood Mountain was a couple days ago. So just of note, it is what it is. So I got in the 10 miles. It was not because I walked fast. It was just because I walked longer. I got going at a reasonable hour in the morning, and I hiked late. Full disclosure, it is not that evening. It's not Monday evening. It's morning. I got here. I was tired. I set up the tent. I came in. I had a snack, and I went to bed. So I got up early this morning. I'll be hiking on this morning.